Paul. Yeah, I just got to the study room. It's 3:45. I got here about 5 minutes ago. Yeah. And I didn't get any phone calls. I had sent about 1,000 emails and put three different copies of the email on Facebook. And I really got to thinking about this dissolution of marriage that was filed on May 24th of 2012. Yeah. Petition for dissolution, and then there was the summons that was included in it. Yeah. Confidential report in a sealed envelope, the affidavit, declaration regarding service members, civilian relief, financial declaration, proposed parenting plan, child support worksheet, child support. And then there's that sheriff's return of service, where I'm thinking that is the sheriff's return of service where you arrested me at the same moment as serving me on Memorial Day weekend of 2012. And then sheriff's return of service, you served somebody other than myself. Now, maybe you served the petitioner that I had received service, or maybe there's something else. Now, Heidi had completed the children in the middle class, lower H, Heidi. Yeah. And then I was scheduled to take the class in July, but you canceled that class without informing me. Yeah. That was a big surprise when I drove to Healthy Families of Clallam County and find out they weren't going to have the class. Usually when you pay for a class and you decide to cancel it, you inform those that are going to be participants that you're not going to have it, so they don't have to drive all the way from Carlsbad to school to Port Angeles. Yeah. But thankfully you got another class on August 24th of 2012. Yeah. And my response, now I was using the 90 days from responding, not inclusive of the day of being served. Yeah. Or the day of the actual hearing for the dissolution of marriage, but I found out later that I had 3 additional days. So I was well within the 90 days. I responded within 87 days, but if you take into consideration that you arrested me on the 27th, yeah, I'll look at the dates. And I didn't get out of jail until the 29th because it was Memorial Day weekend. Yes. Does the day of service include the number of days that you spend in jail when being served at the same moment? Because I would think it actually violates my rights to be able to respond on the next available date. Oh. Now, did you think the dissolution of marriage was legal? Because it seems like a wrongful execution to arrest a person. Yeah, at the same moment as serving them. You arrested me for the allegation of violating a protection order? Yes. But you served me the dissolution of marriage at the same moment as arresting me and putting me in jail. So I had to leave the dissolution of marriage at the fifth wheel. Exactly how many additional days did I have by law? Because as I see it, I went to the actual clerk of the court and did submit a response, and then I served. Sheriff's return of service 8/29. That might have been when Heidi received the actual response to the dissolution of marriage that I paid $65 to have her served. Yes. Now, did she get a free service of the actual dissolution of marriage when you arrested me at the same moment? Because the way I see it, if she didn't pay for that $65, well, then she committed a crime. Now, there's children in the middle class. See, there's two here. Did someone from Healthy Families of Clallam County actually go to the clerk of the court on August 24th when I myself had gone there? Yes. And I had submitted my response, and I had went to the sheriff's department so as she could get a copy of the response that I had submitted. Or did they put the information on the Superior Court case summary from their office? Could somebody ask Leslie Bond exactly who it was? Now, there was a motion hearing on August 27th of 2012 where there was a motion for default. Yeah. The next Monday, well, let's get out the calendar, okay? It seems that the county, the state, and the United States is having a difficult time understanding what is actually criminal. So I just thought we'd take the next couple of hours and I will explain to you what's criminal. Do you think that I'm not capable of understanding what the law says now that I've read what the law says? Now, here's a calendar, okay? When there's proof of service on 8/29 of 2012, yes, that I actually did serve the petitioner. Exactly how did you think it was legal to allow for her to motion for a default dissolution of marriage? I mean, even putting it on the docket. Now, let me look at. Well, it looks to me like you put a lot of stuff on the docket without any actual legal justification for doing that. Now, order of default, she must have went to the clerk of the court and said, I'd like to have a motion hearing with Brent Baisden, the court commissioner. Yes. And you put her on the docket. Who was it that decided that you could do that? When I had served the county, yes, on the 24th, which my response to the petition, exactly, let's see here, August, yes, 24th, okay, of 2012, done. Now, August 2012, I actually responded on a Friday after having attended the children in the middle class on a Thursday. Yes. She decides to run into the court on the 27th. Yes. And then the sheriff's department put in the court file that I had responded to. You know, considering a motion for default well, did somebody not explain to the pro se litigant that you can't motion for default? Now, I did read the notes on the case when I ran down there on the same. Well, I saw it the next day. I think I went down there on the 28th of August, and I wanted to see the signature Heidi Lee Hodges. And I wanted to see the court's response because it looks for like order of default. Oh, as if somebody was intentionally. Does the Sheriff's Department notice for trial setting settlement conference setting 9/14 of 2012? Yeah. You know, I was looking at those instructions from the state of Washington. Oh, 9/14, yes. Where is the actual notice to myself from 9/4 of 2012? Yes. Because I don't see that I got an invitation to the settlement conference setting hearing where you admitted a declaration of Jessica Lee Hodges, my non-biological daughter. Yes. You admitted a proposed parenting plan, another child support, another child support, another child support, and then a motion affidavit declaration. Oh. And then another notice of hearing on October 5th of 2012. Now, when you had that settlement conference setting, notice for trial setting, settlement conference setting, 9/14, when you actually did meet with my wife in chambers without me there, did you do that? Because I don't see any notice to myself for that 9/14 of 2012 settlement conference setting hearing. The conference setting hearing that I mentioned in the Washington state legislature, where the two parties meet with the actual court commissioner and discuss the differences. Now, this county's really pissed me off because you haven't enforced the laws. I haven't gotten a phone call, and I'm thinking I haven't gotten any emails. So is there some problem with involving the spouse in any conference setting hearing where it should have happened in the chambers? Now, There was another one here. Oh, oh, oh. Now, how many of these conference setting hearings do you have where you don't involve